All right, family. You live with the general. You already know what time it is, man. We got that fire over here. Believe it, believe it. Yeah, we got a very controversial lineup today. We're gonna be talking about, it's coming to an end. I think the defense has rested in the Carmelo Anthony case. They have rested. Prosecution arrested yesterday, and so we should be knowing real soon what the verdict is going to be for Carmelo Anthony. And he got you got to be ready for about anything because this shit is a circus. It's always a circus when they on the end of the homicide, and and it's they ass, you know what I'm saying, that took the L. And so they want to make sure they do any and everything possible to get back at, black people for rooting. You should not have rooted for Carmelo Anthony, nigga. You should not have. If we catch you rooting, on Facebook, you lose your job, anything, that's the possibility. You lose your damn job up there rooting for Carmelo Anthony, being black. You had to be quiet about that, especially when you work for, Massa. You work for Massa, you got to be quiet. You get caught talking, and that could be the end of your ass. You see, and so let me just address, clearly, because I got a whole playlist on Carmelo Anthony. I was on their ass from day one. I know what it is. It's still the same situation. Uh, they trying to pull every rabbit out of the hat that they can. Electing a 12 all white juror. All 12 of the jurors are white. And so, I mean, they say, and people sit up here and talk this bullshit, talking about you, it's in the Constitution that you be judged by your peers. What's a damn peer? When the hell you gonna be my peer? White people and black people are not peers. You see, we're not peers. We don't have the, we didn't, we came in here a different kind of way than they did. So, in order to be a peer, you got to be on the same social, economic, cultural plane. You can't be my peer and you've been historically my enemy. There's no way that is possible. So when you say peers, then you talking about people who have come from your same social class, same economic class, and historically have been, pretty much, you've come up in the same environment. White people have not come up in our environment. They have always been an aggressor and a pillager and a plunderer of black people. So how in the fuck can the master, and I'm saying that only in respects of, because I don't give a goddamn, you know what I'm saying? We say we just have to do it like it need to be done, because some people don't believe it, but economically you is. You is. You go outside, you ain't got no motherfucking businesses out there. So you in your mind, and I understand you have to believe it first so that it could happen. But goddamn, we been believing a long time and shit. So it ain't happened. So we got to do more than believe. And so this is really a setup because he's not being judged by his peers. I believe the trial should have been moved. Period. It should have been moved. Because he's in MAGA country. He's in MAGA country, and they're gonna do whatever they can. They might show up with all of them might sit up there when they get ready to, call the verdict out. They might be sitting up in there with all "Make America Great" hats on. You know, they might be sitting in there with a maker. And see, the thing is, and I'm gonna talk about this on the next video. See, this is the hypocrisy because they saying, it's do you believe that 12 white jurors can't sit and see and judge it? impartially? Hell no. Hell damn no. Do you think if the shoe was on the other foot, I just want y'all to think about it. And it was Austin Metcalf that had, killed for whatever reason, Carmelo Anthony. Do you believe that America would allow Austin Metcalf to be judged by 12 all black jurors? Do you think that would happen in America? Do you think it's possible that Austin Metcalf could be judged by 12 black jurors? No white person on in the jury. It's impossible. They'll say, oh, they would be up in fucking arms about that. They would be up, and they know it's goddamn true. I don't give a goddamn about what people saying, that is racism. Goddamn, America is racism. That's all it is. That's all it ever been. Okay? It's all it's ever gonna goddamn be. So just, deal with that. The naivete of people to believe that all of a sudden America is so free of racism. Stop the bullshit. Let's stand on all 10 and let's call this shit how it is. You feel me? And so I just, it should have been moved. They should have moved this damn trial somewhere else where the boy could get a free at least get a halfway fair trial. At least a halfway fair trial. But I don't know if he would get one but where, down there in MAGA country, where he at, where he came from, you already know they heated. They heated for the fact that black people been rooting for Karmelo. You see, they heated about that. These niggas got enough nerve to root for this boy, get his boy money, like they do. You know what I'm saying? Every killer, they just gave this crackpot, what's his name? Chud. Yeah. Yeah, piece of garbage. You see, nothing but a piece of garbage. They gave him money, and all he do. So they take care of their own, and we should do the same. And so I'm looking at this like hell. I mean, whatever the verdict is, they should be ready to appeal immediately. Because this is some bullshit. And they saying that they said that the black jurors that was, they had, called black jurors to be a part of the jury and saying that they said that they couldn't be impartial. What the fuck would make you say some shit like that? I mean, what the fuck? If you couldn't be impartial, then that was more for your silly ass to stay your ass, because they can't be impartial either. They just shut the fuck up. So even if it was, I mean, I would like to know who did that. I mean, how dumb can you be? I mean, our peoples is dumb, man. I mean, and nobody's gonna be impartial. You think them 12 Neanderthals up there gonna be impartial? Fool, they just got enough sense to play the game. Yeah, I'm impartial. Yeah, all America is beautiful, and yeah, every citizen deserves a fair trial. And and motherfucker back there, yeah, I can't wait. I got the noose waiting on this nigga now. You see, soon they get up out of there, yeah, man, I can, go on in them backwoods and shit, and they back there drinking moonshine, talking about lynching the boy. Boy, if it were goddamn back in them, we'd have been got him. We would have been got him. You feel me? So, this what it is. So I'm thinking to myself, how in the hell would they even say that they couldn't be impartial? Could you, generalseti, could you be impartial? Yeah. I can. General Seti, could you be impartial? I could be impartial. I'm so impartial. You know what I'm saying? God damn, that's my middle name now. Impartial. Please put me on there. You understand what I'm saying? Shit, I'm impartial, but you motherfuckers out there, you know, y'all, I can't be impartial. What would make you say some shit like that? That you couldn't be impartial. So if you hear me out there, that was a foolish, say 3 people. Man, we could have had 3. At least you could have got, And I'm just saying it is what it is. You think everybody up there is impartial. That's bullshit. People know how to play the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? And keep their goddamn mouth closed. That's what the fuck that is. And so, that was really stupid that our people, they probably grilled them to the point, you know what I'm saying, that they probably backed the fuck on up out of it. You know what I'm saying? But ain't no way I'm going to feel, and it's racially charged from the jump. You know what I'm saying? That is racially charged from the jump. And then here you got 12 white people. And they looking at Karmelo Anthony like he ain't nothing but a young drill rapper. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a sad, but I'm quite sure they ready for the appeal. If he don't get off, and we hope that he gets off, I don't see how with 12 Neanderthals up there. I'm just gonna be 1,000 with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be 1,000 with you. I'm just gonna be 1,000. I don't see, but I'm hoping that the ancestors will get him up out of there. But if they don't, I mean, he should file for appeal immediately. They should be, whatever it is, they should be down there before the doors close. Before the doors close to the courtroom. I don't know whether they got to go to federal court. They probably already got somebody there. So soon as the verdict is passed, they probably already got somebody down at federal court. I don't know, is it state court? Probably state court. I don't know, federal court. For that appeal, they should go in there immediately and file for an appeal. And at least at the minimum, he could, stay out until his appeal. I think, he's been out anyway. He ain't did nothing. So he should be able to stay out and get a better trial. And get a better trial. And, you get an opportunity to see what they throwing at you anyway, and go in there and say this was a kangaroo court. This a motherfucking kangaroo court. They done set this boy up. They done put all in MAGA country with 12 MAGA jurors, and you know what I'm saying, and appeal this. But anyway, family, we're gonna keep it moving. Before we get up off of here, get over to Patreon, man. We got the fire over there. We keep it politic, but we take it back to the sacred sciences. Mississippi mound builders, children of the African Olmecs, man. The visuals is off the chain. I do not want you to miss this, family, so be in the house. Also, I know y'all love y'all indigenous and all of that, but I got something for you. How could a black Indian race be original in Arctic North America? This is part 2. The visuals, again, is off the chain. The information is off the chain. Click the link at the top of the chat and be in the house. I'll see y'all black here in a minute, family. Black power.